your photo in the background. You can see him here while I talk. So he's just cute. He's just a cute guy. I taught him to say peekaboo. Like, I would do like the hand motion, and he would say, and he would go peekaboo, and he would sleep on one foot under his little mop, and he would climb on the bars upside down, in like the shape of a C. He would like look at you upside down. And I love that bird. And I was the last one. I was the youngest. So when I went to college, my mom, who has emotional issues, and I mean, I guess I don't begrudge parents for the second there's an empty nest, they need something to take care of. So my mom wanted to get a dog after I went to college, but she didn't want to keep the bird. I guess they got tired of the bird, and they looked for someone to take the bird. I didn't learn about this. I learned about this because I was at college when this happened. I learned about this after the fact. That, we couldn't find anybody, so we decided to let Pippin the parrotlet out free in the park, just release the bird, a parrotlet. Yeah, clearly native to this area. Clearly native. Bright yellow, by the way. Didn't ask me, by the way. Didn't ask me if I wanted to find someone to keep him or find some way for me to take care of him or anything. Didn't even ask me. Just completely skipped that. And the way my mom tells the story is, I let him go and he flew in the tree and he looked so happy in the tree. He looked so happy in the tree. And the reason why I say that she did the same thing is because she kept me essentially in a cage until I was 19, more or less. Not a cage with bars. More like a one-house cult that barely went anywhere. And then what happened when I became an adult? When I became inconvenient? Just, let me go out the park. That bird was probably dead 5 minutes later. Or you know what? Who knows? Maybe that bird survived. Maybe that bird got a 4-year degree in 9 years. Maybe that bird became a professor. I don't know. Because my story is basically the case of that, where I did manage to survive against all odds somehow. I don't know. But my father stopped supporting Trump as well for the same reason. But to be fair, it might have been because my mom stopped supporting him. I don't know. Okay, back to Sister Green. 11:20. So the election just fit like the final decision that Biden won was like, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks before this. So Sister Green says hi. I hope you're doing well. Surprised to see this hello from you. So I tried to bring a bit of the family back together. I tried to around the truth. I said, Sister Green, you said there have been some tough reckonings with the truth in this country. Because I foolishly thought at the time that, maybe that Trump losing was going to be like a moment where the country realized, hey, let's stop being this. Because that's just, So I really hope the next few years are one of healing and rectifying the damage that the insane insane amounts of gaslighting and dangerous disinformation enabled by many Republicans. Which again, it's my like, when I'm triggered by Trump and Republicans, I'm triggered by the gaslighting. I'm triggered by the disinformation. I'm triggered by that, and which my parents just incredibly embody. And in fact, and given everything that transpired in the first video, you can see that they're more than willing to be damaging on social media, and to large audiences somehow. I know the doctor in you knows how bad things have gotten and who is responsible for what is happening. I know you know that Trumpism turned into a narcissistic fascist death cult, and that our parents went down that path for too long. I haven't kept quiet about the truth of things, and I hope that this family can turn back to what is truth and what is love and what is healthy and what is right and just. Oh, so which by the way, that doesn't get received well. Whereas, so like, they get to tell me all day, left, right, up, down, X, Y, A, B, that they love me, that all they want is what's good for me, and all they want is what's healthy for me, and all they want is what's good and healthy for me. Why is it received so badly when I say the same thing back? When I'm saying that I hope this family can turn back to truth and what is love and what is healthy and right and just. Because it's been... I don't know if this family has been that. I don't know if it has been. It's not enough to stay silent anymore. It's just not. At this point, this is when Trump needed to be buried. Everyone needed to turn on him. I mean, granted, everyone needs to turn on him after January 6th. But I don't think I even had conversations with my family about January 6th. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with my family about January 6th. It's not like they're able to handle any of that. Anyway. Which, by the way, in October, so a month previous to this, is when I got PTSD diagnosed, and when large parts of my life was falling apart, and I was about to be almost like December, half a month later, is when I went to the hospital multiple times for severe mold exposure. I almost died a month from here. I hadn't realized that why I was feeling off at this point. But like, but yeah, so the only way America and families torn apart by Trumpism and Trumpian anti-science lies can... So, yeah, so, like, I was hoping that the science was something that we could come back to, because that was why they dropped Trump to begin with. But instead of dropping Trump and, like, coming to a more reasonable position, they just, like, dug further down into, like, a weird libertarian but pro-vaccination hole, because it's, like, they were, the smart version of MAGA, but there is no smart version of MAGA. So, yeah. But I was hoping that maybe there would be some way to heal some scars and divides, because clearly there was a moment of, hey, this isn't good. But yeah, there's a reason why Biden won. There's a reason why there was much cheering. I just want my family back. That's all I've ever wanted, was a family. That's literally all I've ever wanted. Like, yes, I want the support from a family, but I feel like, what is family if you're not supportive at all, in any way, shape, or form? I'm not saying you have to materially support every single family member to prove love or something like that, but, like, when there's this sheer lack of anything, Which by the way, down here, her response is, like, again, she said she wanted to vote Trump out, and that's all she can do. We voted Trump out. We did it. We did it. Why do you even bring up Trump? Like, I faced my traumas head on. I feel like my sisters... I don't know about Sister Red, hey, third sister. The middle sister, who I haven't mentioned much of, except for the beginning. Like... What? Why are we against bringing up Trump? I thought, like, can't we agree? Like, there's just no... We are on the same page. If we're on the same page, why can't I bring it up? That was something that I realized recently, rereading these, is like, if you agree with me, why are you so vehemently against me like... If we're on the same page, why do you... I agree with you. What about, how are you, Sister Green? How are your kids? How are you surviving? I never got any of that from you, so you get what you get the energy you put out. I'm just gonna say. But the first thing you say is an anti-Trump rant, which I agree with you, period. Shut up about it. I agree with you. Shut up. I agree with what you're saying, so shut up. Sister Red and Sister Blue are anti-Trump also. Our parents are brainwashed. Let's move on. Let's move on! Not do any... I'm the only one trying to do something about it here. I'm the only one trying to say, hey, let's be sane. Let's come back to reality. Let's do something real. Let's go back to love and truth and healthy and right and just. But nope. We're anti-Trump. Why are you saying anything? Our parents are brainwashed. Let's move on. Forgive me. I guess I didn't write off my parents as fast as Sister Green did. I guess I should know more than anyone that they're brainwashed and never coming back. I open my arms. I'm sorry you're walking away from that. Help me, Green. Help me reach the family. We don't have to be so broken and divided. Why? So you can demand everyone say sorry for having to... I thought we had the same views. Didn't you just get done saying that we had the same views? Why are we talking about it? So now, what are we happening? Maybe this is the part of mom and me, because my mom had a similar experience, but different. It's... Anyway, without going too far into that. I'm confused. Those views ended with... Yeah, so... Sorry for having different views than you. Those views ended with years of suffering alone. Years of therapy I should have never had to get. Yes, you should say sorry for having the wrong fucking view. Yes, you should say sorry for that. Yes. That's not even that shouldn't be a demand. That should be something, I mean, granted, I know it wouldn't come easy to everyone, but that's what should have happened. But no. Parents are brainwashed. We're all anti-Trump. Shut up about it. Why are you unhappy? It's always invalidation. Every single instinct has been invalidation. This is what needs to be understood here. Those reasons, yeah. Josh, has your therapist said it would be helpful for you to talk to your family? Well, given the one that had just diagnosed me with PTSD, said if it had happened more recently, they would have referred me to a lawyer. So you tell me what that says. But I guess it's tough luck that I got messed up enough to not realize the extent of my abuse until statutes of limit. Yeah, if we were within those statutes of limit, yeah, I would have reached. No one ever physically abused you. I wasn't alleging physical abuse. At no point in this conversation did I allege physical abuse or sexual. Only psychological abuse. But the fact that she had to throw... She didn't say, Joshua, no one ever abused you. She had to say, Joshua, no one ever physically abused you, because somehow that's, I guess, psychological damage, psychological abuse without hitting, I guess, doesn't matter. Sure. But forgive me for wanting to be a Luke Skywalker, still wanting to reach out to the only family that he has. Let me tell you, as a decades-long Star Wars fan, my family understands. This is not a. I don't make this statement lightly. This is central to my morals, is to try to be a Luke Skywalker. The Luke Skywalker who is told to kill his own father, and he refuses. He throws the weapon away. And I think that moment says a lot. Or the scene where, in Empire Strikes Back, where Yoda tells Luke that what he'll find in the cave is whatever he brings with him. And he cautions Luke not to bring his lightsaber. He does anyway, and the movie goes on as it does. But, you bring the weapon, you will, there's incredibly good morals surrounding Luke Skywalker. But anyway. I guess that's a Yoda moral more than anything, but anyway. He was Yoda teaching Luke. Anyway, so, at least our family, I don't... Is this questioning, am I crazy because I got physically abused by someone that's not the family? None of this was... See, this is just this is not... This is invalidation. This is not engaging with the point. It is ignoring the points. It is ignoring what I'm saying. It's ignoring my very direct, very clear communication, and going out of her way, to say, no one ever physically abused you, at least not our family. I don't know what you could sue us for. Which, I'm not even saying that she's certainly part of it. It would be my parents that, if the statute of limitations hadn't passed, I'm sure I could have done something. But, what I don't understand is I'm saying help me reach the family, and it's mostly about, the parents. But then it becomes defensive about we the family, at least our family. I don't know what you could sue us for. It's just it's very us, and then there's me. And I'm on the outside. Why are you circling the wagons for this? Remember how the beginning of this... So it's been almost 3 hours. Remember how the beginning of this video started. I grieve what our parents have done. I grieve. Yeah, this doesn't feel like grieving. I don't know what you could sue us for. What's you're grieving the non-suable. I grieve the non-suableness of it. If a therapist said it isn't wise to talk to us, why are you trying? Forgive me for trying to be... this is... So, this time and time, year in, year out, text in, text out, phone call in, phone call out. It's all this energy. This energy. They don't stay with the thinking. They switch things around. They change. It's there's a team versus a single person. It's about no one ever physically abused you. Change the conversation about that. It's everything, but to just anything but to listen to me. Anything but that. Anything but validating me. Anything but that. I had 6 years later. Or almost 6 years. Well, yeah. 5.5 years later. 5 years later. 5 years later now is when I finally, this year, put out the video. That finally, for the first time in my life, I finally put out a comprehensive picture, an overlook of what my mother is. And the kind of gaslighting that she employs. Not all apples fell that far from the tree in terms of methodology of conversation. Because this is just none of this is engagement. This is all why. So you why would you want to heal the family? Why would you want to reach out to the family? Why would you want there to be any accountability? Why would you want anybody to say sorry? Why would you ever, I don't know what you could sue us for. None of this is engaging with what I'm saying. And I'm the one putting out the olive branch here. But can't have that. Can't have evil Josh, I guess. Evil, mentally ill Josh. If you go back and watch the first video of my mom speaking about me. Which, by the way, that video that she recorded she recorded it late 2021, I think. Late 2021, I think. But anyway, can we talk about the present? Can we not talk about politics? Which, by the way, I'm on your side anyway. So what was about the apology for having different views than you? I thought we had the same view. And when you were on my side, you asked, why are we talking? When you said we're on the same side about Trump, what? Which, yeah. And again, I don't get this. I don't understand this. We agree, so can we not talk about it? That just makes me feel like maybe we don't agree, and you don't want that to be discovered, or you're just like not mature enough to have the conversation, or maybe intellectually capable. I'm not quite sure. You thought you understood what was going on at the Trump border because you visited during the Obama years. I don't know. You're a medical doctor. I don't understand. I don't talk to anyone about politics. This is not excluding you or something. My life was ruined twice. So, we're talking about the present. What is the present thing right here? The present thing here is the pandemic was bad and Trump lost. And my life was ruined twice because of family. Once when I was thrown out into the world to figure it out on my own at 20. And the second time, literally this year, in 2020, because the PTSD caused me to I had to drop out of grad school, which I was taking a full course load on a graduate assistantship, which I also had to resign, by the way. I was going full ride, working 20 hours tutoring, which I did anyway. I was teaching 3 classes, and it wasn't there's a large workload, okay? Burnout is real, it's possible, but it wasn't the grad courses that broke me. It wasn't the teaching or the tutoring or all of those. It was when I made the decision. I mean, I went back and had some communication with my parents after, but the first time that I finally decided to go fully no contact was in October. So it was the month before this. And when I did that, I expected some kind of mental relief, but it actually just made me realize that the trauma is, I mean, for all the years of therapy that I've gotten, I still carry the effects. And since there was no relief from going no contact, it made me realize that I was hoping for some kind of mental escape when I went no contact, and all that it made me realize is that it didn't really change the abuse that happened. And when I didn't have any amount of relief and I really needed it and I was really expecting it, that broke me. And that broke everything. So yes, my life was ruined twice because of my family, because of my parents. And it's not like my sisters ever helped me during these crises. The one time that I asked for I think it was $400 to pay for a like a moving truck to move from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, as I desperately needed. She said no, and this is a medical doctor, sister. Okay, don't. I don't want to hear any excuses about like you can't help a brother in crisis when you're literally a medical doctor. And it's not like I'm like demanding like I'm not like demanding money that like they're like I will pay things back. But like even it's just there's just no family support. I've been flying solo for quite a long time. Can we talk about the president, or are we still talking about poor me, etc.? Wow, more invalidation. So today's word is invalidation. You didn't defend me. You don't support who I am or what I try to accomplish. That's true. I did. I basically homeschooled and fed you. Which, by the way, I don't recall that ever being true. It's an interesting thing that she feels is true. Maybe it was true in the very early years, but like after I was 12 or whatever, in fact, I think, no, this isn't the screenshot where one of them says it, but like they didn't live at home since I was like 12. Yes, that was the worst. Where were you the last 10 years? When Mom left for a week or two, abandoned us, Sister Blue and I were the parents. This is before I even remember my time on Earth. Like, I don't recall this ever like, I'm in medical school and fellowship and getting married and I'm pregnant and dealing with my own depression and holding people's hands while they're dying, and you're blaming me for not taking care of my adult brother who has many disabilities and difficulties that are well documented, that you've known for years, that you understand, and he's been abused and you've invalidated for years. But you can't take any of the credit for that. You can't take credit for. And you know what? Is this a misspell? Like, I think, like, is this a typo? And you are blaming me for not taking care of your adult brother, right? Or is she literally saying you're blaming me for taking care of? You didn't take care of. You didn't. Do you want to know this sort of disingenuousness I'm used to this from this family? Sister Blue offered to go to therapy with me, but only if we drove halfway. And the 70-year-old therapist drove an hour. Wait, do I include those screenshots? I thought I did. I think later I discussed that with Sister Blue. Anyway. Oh yeah. Okay, she does clarify for not caring about my adult brother. Just so she can say she offered to go. Yeah, so Sister Blue, I guess I'll go over this now. Sister Blue was the only family member who ever offered to go to therapy with me and speak with my therapist in front of me. Which, that was the only offer ever by any family member to sit down with a therapist with me. That is the only time that has ever happened. My parents, my mom gave up on mental health after her psychiatrist told her that she was using religion as a crutch. Well, after that, she didn't really believe in mental health. So when Sister Blue says she'll meet with me and my therapist, but then she says she'll only do it if we meet halfway physically. She was 2 hours away. My therapist was 70 years old. Do you really think he's going to drive an hour to meet in somewhere that's not his office to speak with me and her together? This is clearly not a realistic offer. This is clearly a poisoned offer so that it fails. So that she can say she offered to speak to a therapist with me. This is very clear. It's pretty nakedly obvious that that's exactly what that was. I offered to go talk to you and your therapist, but you said no. It's like, no, you intentionally asked an impossible demand specifically so that it wouldn't happen. Don't. And like, that's more insulting than if she just told me she didn't want to go. That's way more insulting, because it's always this pretend like they're just better than us. They're just better than everybody else. So yeah, it's disingenuous. She can't figure out a way to drive 2 hours ever, not even once. This family's never cared about therapy and mental health. Certainly not mine. Joshua, that's because you only think of yourself. She has children to care for. Just one. It's not even one. They can't even do one. They won't even pretend to be able to do one. See how the excuse has changed? So it's like she's excusing when Sister Blue said she couldn't she couldn't drive 2 hours. Well, it's actually because she has children she cares for. Is that implying that Sister Blue is lying? See, like, it's just... I have been to therapy and am on meds. Have been for about 10 years. No one made me go. I don't blame people for it. What? Yes, there are many years of therapy I've had to get that I probably otherwise would not have had to. And yet you never thought to come to my aid and actually listen to me. Yeah, I mean, if you're so therapy in tuned, why aren't you pro-therapy in my case? Why aren't you in favor of what my healing, my journey? I don't blame our parents. I grieve what our parents did to you. I don't blame God. Which, by the way, I'm not here blaming God because I don't believe that God exists. I can't blame something I don't believe exists. I don't know if that was an implication saying that I blame God, but I can't blame something. I'm not going to stub my toe and blame the tooth fairy. I'm sorry. Like, I understand that Christians don't see God as the tooth fairy, but you have to understand, as an atheist, just like they're both fairy tales. Anyway, instead I always get dismissed. Oh, Josh, did you smoke something? This is Sister Green who literally said that. And I said, you're screwed up if you don't blame Mom and Dad for doing a horrible job. Which, by the way, I agree for what our parents did to you. I can listen, but not if it's about Trump, because that's just unnecessary. We agree. How do I even know that we agree if you won't talk about it? And not if it's about blaming people. What is it? Accountability just does not exist. I said this family doesn't get to pretend psychological abuse didn't happen. Josh, there's a difference between blaming and saying, for example, to her husband's name, I'm insecure because my mom just left. I'm insecure sometimes because my mom just left us for a while. So when I get upset sometimes or depressed, it's not you. Which, by the way, is even more confusing because my contentions are not that Mom left us. Oh no, my case is that I had too much of a dose of mom. After all my sisters went to college, I got the full entire dose of my mom's insanity. And largely fully directed at me. And I feel on some levels that just being male just meant being hated by our mother. I'm not sure. There's a difference between blame and recognizing that, yes, shit happens, and it has made me who I am and my life more difficult. Here I am saying that shit happened, and you're saying, let's not talk about it. I'm saying how it made me who I am, but you're like, I don't want to talk about the past, I just want to talk about now. And it's made me who I am and my life more difficult. That's what I'm saying. You are also part of what the shit that happened. You are also part of what made me who I am. And you are part of what made my life more difficult. Yes. Yes. You left me alone. The entire family did. I was an undiagnosed, untreated, autistic ADHD man with depression and anxiety, not prepared for the world in any way socially, like a child being dropped off at a mall. Thank God I figured it out for myself and managed to find my way. The thought that mom and dad almost went to graduation sickens me. They almost went to my college graduation. Why they would deserve to be able to do that is beyond me. It's beyond me. Joshua, you don't remember when you were home struggling after they pulled you from college, which, by the way, I believe a lot of that I covered in the first video of how all of that went incredibly wrong and incredibly abusive. And me checking on you and taking you to the hospital for asthma, telling Dad to take you. I don't remember her ever taking me to the hospital for asthma. I remember going to the ER a few times as a kid, going to the hospital. But it's interesting that it makes it sound like she had to tell Dad to take me. Or take me herself, is her memory. So, like, I guess Dad was just negligent when it came to my asthma. I don't even remember that. But hey, pile it on. Put it on the pile. Yeah, because my entire world broke. Because I wasn't prepared or ready in any way. I agree. They did a horrible job preparing you for stuff. I agree with what our parents did to you. There's a reason all of that fell apart. But you're 31 now. My 20s were like... My 20s were full of not being able to talk to people. Well, okay, when I say full of, I should say my early 20s. Between, like, 20 and 24 or 25, I want to say. Probably, like, 25. It was, like, first 4 years. It was, like, first half of the 20s. Was just... I had no idea how to be social with people in any way, shape, or form. I didn't know how to tell a joke. Well, I knew how to tell a joke, but I socially did not have what it took to be able to, like, have the bravery to tell a joke to anybody, other than, like, family. But, like, at college, I didn't make jokes to anyone because I was too scared to. I didn't make eye contact until I was 23. I couldn't make eye contact until I was 23. For me, the experience is sometimes, especially back then, I'm more moderated about it now, and I can override it now. But I am more comfortable not looking in someone's eyes when I'm talking. That is true. But it's like looking at the sun. It's too much visual feedback that, like, I'm looking at their eyes. I don't know what their eyes are saying, but their eyes are looking at mine. I don't know what my eyes are saying because I'm autistic, and positioning my face and facial expressions are things that I had to learn after the fact. So it's just too much information because I don't know what I'm reading. I can't read from their eyes, and I don't know what they're reading from mine, but I know it's not correct because I don't have that naturally built in. That's just part of my autism. But like, 31 as compared to being thrown out at 20, like 10 years by myself to just like, okay, my life is fixed now. Or I'm just supposed to be, I'm just supposed to accept what happened to me, and it's the past, move on. Get some therapy, get some meds, move on. Talk about the current day, not... Which, by the way, talking about the current day is literally... I just got diagnosed with PTSD a month previous to this. Oh... And when and she's like, well, what about, how are the kids? You're 31 now. I agree they abused you, but that was 10 years ago. Relax. Yep. I struggled in high school and college in similar ways. Not prepared. Oh, BS. They graduated with honors. Like in like 4 years or whatever. Socially awkward. People ridiculed me. Oh, please. I got made fun of by my entire building the first semester. I got literally maximum bullying. I got spiders thrown at me. I don't know. I have never heard any of these stories. This is like the first time I'm ever hearing about this. Which, maybe she was more of a sister, and maybe if she opened more about her life to me and wanted to, maybe she wanted to connect, maybe I would know. But no, all I knew was the twins did everything perfect because our parents loved the way they handled things. So all I get is the we're better than you condescension stuff. There's a difference between poor parenting and abuse. I grieve what our parents did to you. Neglect, perhaps. Neglect, perhaps. Neglect isn't abuse. I grieve what our parents did to you. I was a different level, Sister Green. I'm not sure how well acquainted you are on the experience of someone with autism. Yeah, in terms of struggle, I was a different level. I just wish this family wasn't broken by lies and gaslighting. Josh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I gotta go. Then act like it. I am? I just asked about you. No, you spent all this time being like, well, why haven't you asked about my kids? Why? It's like, you don't do this for me. Why don't you take your own advice? A relationship goes both ways. I'm the one trying to pull the family together. Am I not? Is that not how this conversation started? Oh, why should I ask you with your track record? I'd prefer no words over empty words. Yeah, I was alone for 10 plus years. More than that now. Someday, maybe you'll read this back to yourself and realize that you are not making sense. Huh? Here we are 6 years later. I'm making a lot of sense. Here's just, you're not making sense. You're crazy. Are you logical? I thought you were logical. I thought you wanted to be healthy. I thought you wanted to be good. No. You just rant about our horrible family that lives so far away from me now. Poor me. Do you think you're the only one who suffers loneliness? Yeah, because I'm the only one who has dealt with this many years of bullshit. I mean, yeah, there are. Okay, I'm not invalidating anyone else's shit here. I'm not being the one who's invalidating here. But this is just more validation. Do you think you're the only one who suffers loneliness or grief? I grieve what our parents did to you. Because I want to be recognized as your brother. Or regret? Or sadness or depression? No. I've been trying to hold the fort while the older, unscrupulous doctor that works with me, I don't know what that means, that is finally retiring in a month. I'm drowning in work and dying patience. Thanks, Trump. I don't think our lives are anything alike, Joshua. Never said they were. Well, I didn't say our lives were anything alike. Our lives are nothing alike. So it's okay if we're not best buddies. Translation. Dropping you. You were always my brother. No, you're not. I stopped being a son and a brother when I was tossed away. I love you. We don't have a lot in common. That's okay. There's no love here. What is the love? Where is the love? Love doesn't invalidate at every single step. Okay, I think I can say that confidently. Love is not constant, day in, day out, years of invalidation. That is not what love is. That is not what love is. I never tossed you away. Oh, well, you watched me we got tossed away, and I just didn't care. But when someone keeps saying that I did something wrong to them when I have not, I just live life. It makes me not want to talk to them much. Oh, I never tossed you away. But when someone keeps saying that I tossed them away, when I have not, it makes me want to toss them away. It is not love to ignore the abuse of your brother. You are toxic and need to discuss these things in therapy. This is true. I am calling out. Look, one might feel you are toxic. Oof. That looks toxic. It sure looks toxic. I mean, you could call this toxic. When you said you were physically abused, it said it all. I mean, she is toxic. She does need to discuss these things in therapy. She seems to be in a very not discussing things mood. What you said you weren't physically abused, said, oh, you know why you used... Yeah, you know why. If you value me as a brother, you will listen to me when I speak. The reason I always text about the past and the abuse is because you always ignored it and diverted it. These things are not lost upon me. I'm not stupid. I hope you find your way to being a better human. Happy holidays. Enjoy your family. I don't get to enjoy mine. Josh, we're stuck in the past. Which, by the way, my mother's video that has kept, this is the thing. When my mom puts out what she did, I have had to stand up and defend my entire past. Granted, this is before my mother recorded that video, but hello? It's not me. I'm stuck in the past because the past won't leave me the fuck alone. I love you, and I'm sorry that you've suffered, and still seem to still be. That's all I can do. I can't fix the past. I'm not asking you to use a time machine. There's a thing called the present, the thing that you keep harping about that we should be living in. See, yeah, I get it's just invalidation. Every single word is invalidation. It's toxic. It's pure toxicity. And I get it from every single one of them. I mean, I'll even take a moment right now to pause and talk about Sister Red. My middle sister. That relationship ended pretty quickly when I vented to her that I was depressed. She blocked me and called 911. I had officers show up to my front door who did not suggest that it was optional for me to go and get checked by the psychiatrist at the hospital. So I had to ride with them. Which I did. Because there was nothing... I didn't threaten suicide. I didn't threaten self-harm. I said I was very depressed. That's literally all I did. And in fact, that entire day, 3 hours of my day were wasted because I was involuntarily, by police officers, because of what my sister called 911 and said, I had to sit there for 3 hours, wait for the psychiatrist to show up, and he asks what's going on. I show him the exact text that I showed my sister. The exact text that I sent my sister. And he was like, oh, you're free to go. I was depressed. Yes, but was I threatening self-harm? Was I threatening anything? No, I just said I was depressed. I kid you not. If it is not apparent, I would have to go. I mean, this is just another screenshot that I have to go find and edit and all that. But I'm telling you, that's what happened, and she blocked me. And literally all I said was I was depressed. So that was the end of that relationship. Like, again, just nothing can ever be normal or healthy with his family. Nothing. Ever. 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 So, yeah. Anyway. Don't pretend like things don't have lasting psychological consequences. Yeah, it's like, oh, it happened so many years ago, right? You admitted that, and not only that, this is bullshit, because she admits that she's in therapy for stuff over the past too. What, is she stuck in the past too because she gets therapy? I mean, granted, I actually want to talk about things, but, I guess here we are, talking about it here, because there's nowhere else that I could talk about it. And, in all honesty, it sickened me to get the validation that I did after this many years, after I finally put the video out. But the real background is all of this. For years. I have not invalid... Bullshit. Fuck you, lying piece of shit. Sorry, you just are. Every single... Your words, they drip with invalidation. That's all they do. I have just said there is a... See, and these are... So this is the kind of, I get angry like this, but, I feel like I've been through enough for as many years. All I've been is invalidated and called crazy and called just... It's just... Yes, all you have done is invalidate my suffering. That's all you've done. I've just said there is a limit that I can do to fix it. A limit. The limit being doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. That's your limit. When you're dealing with death in person, the people it's like, okay, yeah, you're dealing with some traumatic shit. I'm sorry, but you don't have time to suffer things from the past again and again. Okay, then why are you in therapy? I said I don't have time to suffer from it time and time again either. Yet I do. Don't even begin to suggest that I choose this. Yeah, what do you, I guess you choose your PTSD for your job too. Why don't you take a job with less trauma? Just like how you told me to choose a job that makes more money. Yeah, there was at a point that my sister... So, I got a degree in pure math. I've always went the teaching route with it, because that explaining things and speaking was always my strength. But, or rather, it became my strength. But, when I was struggling financially, she was like, well, just become an accountant. Just take your pure math teaching experience and just become an accountant, I guess, because that's how math works, I guess. They're all numbers, right? It's all the same. When none of that is realistic. And she says, well, I am choosing to not. I am choosing to take meds. I have chosen to take meds many times. I have talked to a therapist. I have tried to move on. But I can't move on when the entire family is like this. To care for my family, my patients, and what I can do to make the world better. You never lifted a finger. It's true. Never lifted a finger. At least not after I was 20. I'm not blaming anyone for my trauma. I grieve what our parents did to you. I am doing things to fix it. So, assigning blame for trauma means not doing things to fix it, I guess. No, you're doing things to ignore it. You don't care for all of your family. That is true, yeah. True. You don't know me. You don't know my life. This is all you've been trying, and this is all about you trying to blame me for something that I haven't done. The irony. Yes, all the things that you have opted and elected not to do. The years of not doing things. is precisely the issue at hand. My children and my husband were my first priority, not you, not Sister Red, not Sister Blue, not Mom or Dad. It's precisely what you have done. Yeah, choosing not to do something is still a choice. I never asked to be your first priority. I wish I was a priority at all. You're choosing to blame me. What? Besides, there's actually an epic moment later. My dad says something. I mean, it's similar to earlier, where I say Trump lied about things. He goes, "Well, politicians lie." Like it's just an admission that your side engages in the thing. Besides, what have you done to help me? She just threw that back at me. What have you done to help me? I am like 4 years younger than you. And I objectively had a way worse treatment from our parents. And you always upheld this image that everything was going well. And our parents always upheld that image as well. So, tell me, when did you reach out for help from me? I've reached out to you many times for help. Can't say the same the other way around. But instead I was the baby brother who was left to fend for himself. Like, what have you done to help me? What, and where is that from? That's the first time that's like something, like thrown around on me. Yeah, look, what have you done to help me? Or Sister Blue, or Sister Red? Like, I said, why should I help those who didn't help me? I was the child. I was the baby. I was the one who didn't understand what was going on. I have moderate severe. I have major depressive disorder. I'm not the one who neglected. I wasn't, none of... Sister Green doesn't talk about years of neglect and abandonment and abuse. Sister Blue doesn't talk about years of abandonment or abuse. Sister Red had some problems with our parents, but I don't know why this was on me. Again, I couldn't even make eye contact until I was 23. So how am I supposed to handle your problem? I couldn't even handle my own problems. And I had to survive on my own. So don't pretend like I'm the abuser. You didn't stick up for me. How am I responsible for fixing your situation? I never said you were. Again, it's taking every single possible, it's like looking for a bad explanation for what I'm saying. Because it's like, it's just, my story has to be invalidated from every way, shape, and form. And I think it's because she knows how much she abandoned me, and she knows how many years that she left me to be alone. She grieves for what my parents did to me. She won't lift a finger. She never has, and she probably never will. I've accepted that. I've accepted that I've been thrown away by my sister. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I'm pretty sure I blocked you after everyone else did. I was the last one to block you. I held on as long as I could. Not even sure how you are messaging me now. Oh, man. If only you could have just avoided the whole uncomfortable conversation altogether. Because this is what my family, they don't want to deal with any of this. So that's why it's just block me, cut me out. I'm just to be abandoned. I just want basic respect. That was very generous to block me last. Very generous. I said I didn't want to. See, it's just like, oh, I don't want to. I want to say, but you're making me, and then you curse me on the phone. Please. This is not, like, would you classify the tone of my narration of this video as cursing someone on the phone? I mean, granted, I will say, is a bit more I get a bit more spicy when I'm dealing with these statements coming at me live, or coming at me in the speed of talking live on the phone. It's the same thing. It's the same. I'm such a good person and I wanted to stay in contact and that I would miss you. All of this is virtue signaling. It's all lies. It means nothing. It means less than nothing. I would prefer you to say that you do not love me. I would prefer you to say that you would rather abandon me. I'd prefer you to just say it. But no. Nope. More invalidation. More. Because you deny my humanity. I'm seriously done. You don't know me. You haven't asked one question about me. You want to make accusations that are not true. See, it's just like, see, it's just, oh my God. It's you know, it's just, you want to pretend the past didn't happen. I'm not. I just don't need to open that box today. And that's okay. It's good to have boundaries. Oh, this is having boundaries. Oh. You want to pretend like your brother is just some pot-smoking, autistic, psychologically abused man who can't say anything of value. Don't worry, I don't plan on being quiet about the abuse anymore. I imagine it can help people handle their own abuse better and to speak up about the truth. Joshua, you can talk about your horrible family all you want. Not sure how that's going to get you anywhere. Well, I'll tell you where it does get me. It gets extended family understanding more the totality of what my family is. I am aware. I mean, granted, you know, good old uncle saw it. So did his son. I just wish my family lived a life of truth. Like, why the constant invalidation? Why can't we just acknowledge the hard truths, work around them, and just move forwards, rather than constantly denying the past? Because there's no moving on with family if the past cannot be reckoned with, and if the present can't be reckoned with. It just can't. It's okay for me to want to deal with my current tragedies. I deal with instead. Just more excuses. Okay. Well, Sister Green, you weren't physically abused, so it doesn't matter. That's your logic. In 10 years, your trauma won't matter. Joshua, you don't know me. You've never asked about me. You've never met my children. You haven't seen me for 4 years. Wow. You've never even asked to FaceTime with my children. I don't feel like... Why would I feel a connection to your children? I don't feel a connection to you. No offense. It's not like I'm around you much. At all. Yeah, I learned about my family values from my family. You are absorbed by your life, your career, your passions, your sufferings. All you wanted to know about me was if I had listened to your music. There was at one point I sent her my music because I was like, if you really... There's some levels to which you can understand me only if you listen to my music. It's instrumental, but I think I convey some emotions that are difficult to put into words. So that was more of a listen to my music and maybe you can understand like my emotional palette better. Like if you want to get to know me, you will listen to my music. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best musician in the world, but
there are things about me that you can understand only if you listen to the music. Anyway, yeah, you never wanted to know me, you never cared, you made my suffering worse, spare me, but I did love you, no you didn't. Because again, I will make this claim. Love is not constant invalidation. That's not what it is. I'm not saying that love is constant validation. I know some idiot is going to make that argument. But the opposite of the opposite of none is not all. The opposite of never is not always. Like, I just... You can't just constantly invalidate for years a family member and then tell them that you love them. That's not love. And I'm not saying that validation is love, but if you love someone, you will not just invalidate them across the board. Okay, officially done. Telling someone they never cared when that is the furthest from the truth. Okay, all right. Look, if you want to pretend that you did care, you cannot say that it was the furthest from the truth that I said that you never cared. Because that is not the furthest from the truth. It might be... You could say that it's not the truth. You could argue that it's not the truth. Maybe, you could argue that maybe she cared at some point. But is it the furthest from the truth? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it a way to get blocked? Love you. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Goodbye. Wow, in that order. I don't know why Merry Christmas came before Thanksgiving, but Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Goodbye. This family treated me like a problem to be rid of. I don't shed a single tear. Goodbye. That's true. Like, I don't... Like, see, this is the thing. Like, I may come across as though I am suffering in Okay, so Sister Blue. A little bit later. If you whatever. So I texted in November 19th. So this was like right before the conversation that I had with Sister Green. I tried to this was when I was trying to reach out to family to like pull things together. She still had me blocked at that point, so it was sent as a text message, which meant, yeah, it's totally blocked. But then on December 13th, I guess she unblocked me in order to graciously say, I wanted to reach out and tell you that I love you. It's just like, you know what? It's almost like the thing that comes to mind. We've been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. We've been trying to reach you to tell you that we love you. It's like, no. It's just like, it's always this, I wanted to reach out to tell you I love you. It's like, hey, I wanted to reach out and virtue signal. I hope you are well, as I define it. And I would like to send you a Christmas card. Please, can I have your mailing address? So then I sent her the screenshots of what Sister Green had just said. Okay, so I sent that, and then I said to Sister Blue, this was a conversation with Sister Green. These are the sorts of things that are why family things generally don't go great with me. If you're willing to communicate with me on the basis of listening to the words I actually say without dismissing or diminishing or deflecting or gaslighting, if you are able to consider the words that I have to say based upon what experts have told me and upon rational logical arguments, then I am willing to talk. Yeah, look, motherfucker, if you wanna pull out here's a study because I know you're logical and you read articles and I know you're rational. Here we go. If you're willing to listen to me without diminishing, I guess this is a long way of saying, if you're able to communicate with me without trying to invalidate every single breath that I take, I'm willing to talk. I don't want to hear dismissals about how I'm 31, or how I shouldn't be angry about my abuse, or how I should make better financial decisions because I'm 31 with ASD, anxiety. At this point, I didn't realize I had ADHD yet. And depression and PTSD, because I have both, from familial abuse. Until things are able to be admitted, I don't think I can have a relationship. This is me telling her, I can't do this. If all my sister interactions are going to be is invalidation, which is really all interactions with my family in general, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. This is me drawing a boundary. I'm not a son or a brother until I'm treated like one. The abuse came from our parents, and my three sisters largely didn't care when I spoke up about them. I grieve what our parents did to you. To this very day. Years later. Denying this is the very core of how hard the last 10 years have been. If you're angry, I might get a short response and another Merry Christmas and another I love you, but until I get fully recognized as an actual adult member of the family with autism and PTSD, and where that came from, it's simply not healthy to remain in contact. I do wish everyone a happy holidays, but only if it isn't fake happy at the expense of the truth. I honestly don't have, so she replies, I honestly I have no idea how to answer what you just said, except that of course I value you as a person, as a human being, as my brother who I helped raise. Don't remember that. Who I helped and supported whenever I could. Which, by the way, who I helped raise, I'm not sure when it's coming, but at some point, it's either her or Sister Green that point out, I haven't lived with you since you were 12. So the helped raise me past 12 means nothing. It means literally nothing. And I do wish you a Merry Christmas. I know you've had a lot of struggles over the years. Vague. Glad to hear you're okay in the pandemic. I hope you get the job you want to help you get out of debt and that your health improves. It's just like, I hope you fix your problems. I hope you fixed your problems that you struggle with. If you don't want a Christmas card, that's fine. Why is that? Why does that matter? Honestly, I don't even know what fake happy means. You are the definition of fake happy. Okay, let's be real here. You are the definition of like the TV commercial with the white family in the perfect looking house with the perfect yard with the fence, where like there's nothing, everything is happy. You are the definition of fake happy. That's why you're pretending not to know what it is. You're not. This sister has a master's in biochemistry. This sister is not stupid. She wins like every single board game she ever plays, and that includes games like Catan, where you have to like trade. You have to convince people to make trades that get you to win. Like this like, to pretend to not even know what this means tells me you're probably lying, because I don't think you're stupid like this. I think this is just you think I'm stupid. This is, you think I'm stupid, so you're saying this to me. I'm not stupid. Wanting to send you one is just an act of sending a Christmas card. You're saying it's not good. It's like none of this is about the Christmas card. Did I even mention a Christmas card? I didn't even say anything about a Christmas card. Oh, I guess she said she wanted to send me a Christmas card, and then I said it's probably not good to stay in contact. But yeah, not staying in contact is not about it being a Christmas card. It's just like, why are you sending me a Christmas card if we're not family? Like, you already do not consider me to be part of your family. You already mention that you consider me not to be part of your family, because I'm not your family. You have your own family to take care of. So I asked for I said, I need validation. Surely that is understandable. Josh, I never abused you. Surely you are not implying that I did. I am not the cause of your suffering. I said, you didn't stick up for me or defend me. If anything, I helped you. If anything. If anything. If anything is crazy. If anything, I helped you. She had, like, it's not, I'm not the cause of your suffering. I helped you. It's, I'm not the cause of your suffering. If anything at all, if anything more than zero, I helped you. Actually, you don't remember. Maybe it's the PTSD or autism or depression or something else, but you do not remember. I have fought mom and dad over the years, often on your side. Then why don't I know about it? Why was that never visible to me? Why does mom get to still try and attempt to make statements like, everyone advised me to block him. Everyone said this. Everyone, which already is, I already know that to be a lie. But like, even Sister Green was saying us, lumping, like, my issues with my parents are completely different from my issues with my sisters. My parents abused me. They neglected me. They did not prepare me for life. And what happened instead, and that's that. That's my parents. And then my sisters never, like, they acknowledge that it was bad, and then they do nothing. And then they say, like, why are we talking about it? 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 That's the past. That's the past. That's the past. That's the past. Why are you talking about it? Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad at us? It's like, because you abandoned me. Yeah, this is bullshit. I'm sorry. This is bullshit right here. She doesn't even, again, like, if anything, like, you don't say if anything and then say, I have fought mom and dad over the years, often on your side. You don't get to put those right next to each other. I'm sorry, that is too uncomfortable. That is too, like, maybe you're just a poor communicator, which is sad because you have been a teacher. But this should be, you should understand, but, you know, to be fair, I'm relatively certain that my entire family is both autistic and ADHD. Like, we're not just missing signals, we're missing signals from each other in ways that shouldn't even be possible. But this is, if anything, I helped you. That's wild to me. But it's okay. I'm not sure you will ever remember it. I love you anyway. So first of all, if anything, I helped you. Then I fought for years on your side. And maybe it's, you know, it's something about your brain that you forgot. I'm not sure you will ever remember. I'm not sure you will ever remember it. Because it's just like, it didn't happen. You don't remember it because it didn't happen. I love you anyway. I'm not sure what else I can do to make anything better. And here I bring up your offer of coming to therapy that was not genuine. Show me where you stand. You could not possibly ask a 7-year-old therapist to travel an hour so we could meet. I had every right to ask you to drive that far once for your brother to listen to him, but you had no right to ask the therapist to drive that far. So you knew it wouldn't work. You knew you wouldn't have to go. Josh, I'm not sure how to explain to you that I have 2 small children in my care and I can't drive 2 hours to a that wasn't what she said before. Oh, that I wasn't sure you would even show up to. She had not said that previously. Wow, not even sure I would show up. She never even respected me as an adult. I understand. Look, if the last time that she truly lived with me in our family's house was when I was like 12. I feel like that's like how they just permanently see me. Is they just permanently see me as like this 12-year-old child. Like I wasn't sure you would even show up to. I'd been a professor for 3 years, and she didn't think I would show up. So now you harp on that one occasion. One occasion, yeah. Yes, I do harp on that it was one occasion. Is the one occasion that my family has ever offered to talk to a therapist with me. One occasion. And decide that the one demand you made of me proves that I'm not willing to do it. It was the one time you ever offered. And it wasn't a real offer. It was a fake offer. It was a lie. And not only that, but like your reasoning that you gave originally was I can't because it's too far. But now it's I can't because it's too far and my kids, and I wasn't even sure you would show up to. Like, is this, I don't know if she just invented this here or if she just didn't trust me back then, but not even that makes sense because I had been a professor. Guess what? Being a professor means if you show up late, you ruin how many adults' lives for that day? How much more work do you cause for yourself if you don't show up? And this is 2020, and somehow she never knew I was a professor. And she's saying that she remembers fighting mom and dad for years on my side. She never even knew I had been a professor for 3 years. Yeah, due to PTSD, I had to stop teaching. Yeah, thanks to the PTSD from family, which is fresh. I got diagnosed with the last 2 months. Fresh. This is not like, oh, you're stuck on the past. I just got diagnosed with PTSD. How can you tell someone that just got diagnosed with PTSD, like 2 months previous, that they're stuck in the past? Like, are people with PTSD just stuck in the past? Like, is that where we're at here? I just don't. So you haven't been teaching since last year. They didn't need you to teach online. I was going through PTSD. Like, how am I supposed? Like, there's no. Just take my words. It's just it's like they treat me like I'm lying every single word I say, and that everything I say deserves to be invalidated. But it's because they know what they've done, or rather what they haven't done. They know. You don't get to say that you're sure that, yeah, I'm sure you're a great math professor. I'm not sure why I didn't think you were. Or, okay, hold on. I mean, I'm not sure why you didn't think that I thought you weren't. What? I'm not sure why you didn't think that I thought you weren't. I don't know what that's saying, but anyway, you don't get to say that you're sure I'm a great math professor when you just said that you thought I wouldn't even show up. Like, that's not. It's just like. It's just insulting. Every single word is insult. It's an insult to my intelligence. It's an insult to their own intelligence, by the way. None of this makes them look like incredibly intelligent people, I will say. It is what it is. Well, you weren't being rational when you messaged me from across the world last Christmas, so I wasn't sure on what on earth you were going to do. Meanwhile, anyway, that is beside the point. You cannot expect someone with children to care for to drive 2 hours. See, now she's backed it up. Now she's backed off of her. I didn't think you were going to show up. Like, she now is like, and not only that, but like the fact that she said she thought I was a great math professor. Like, if you thought I was a great math professor, I would show up. Not only that, it's for the one time that family's ever offered to go to therapy with me. Of course I wanted it. I wanted that so badly. So apparently I just wasn't serious about it. And then now she's backed up to the other. See, when people shift excuses and add excuses, it tells me that the first excuse wasn't enough and that they had to go to another one. Or, yeah, it's just the excuses are not enough. It doesn't sound rational because you're not listening or considering things from a view. You're just not even trying. Okay, you aren't a parent, so you do not understand, and I get that. So your kids are why you can't, like, once, this is one time. I'm 37. I have never seen a therapist in front of any other family member. I think that speaks volumes. I think it really does. It really does. Because I think they know that the therapist would be onto their bullshit in seconds. Anyway, I was so gaslit by this family upbringing that I needed to climb to be a math professor to finally understand. I'm not only right about some things, I'm right about a lot of things. Because I am of a rational mind. Autistic, yes. Perhaps a bit more simple. But I was not wrong, and I continue to not be wrong. But instead I was left alone to struggle and find my own way, and I'm lucky that I made it. Barely. Frustrated that my life is ruined a second time due to family, and yes, that is documented and diagnosed by a professional. But hey, I know what's up and what's down now. Josh, where have I been for 12 years? I have lived in blank, I got married and moved to blank. Full-time job where I literally took care of teenagers. During that time, I did drive up to the mental hospital to try to support you. To my knowledge, this has happened once. In 2008. That's why she says 12 years. Because the time that she tried to drive up to support me was 12 years ago. Until I 12 had my first child and dealt with health issues we will never understand. Maybe if you talk to me about it, but you don't, because you don't see me as... Anyway. 2013 for 6 months, and I came back, took care of a toddler, had another baby. Mom and Dad went off the deep end. Last communication I had with Mom, she quoted Bible verses about putting on the armor of God. So being busy means your brother can suffer alone. We never knew you had autism. We never knew. I'm not Mom or Dad. I think I might have slightly messed up the order of this. I think, this second, it's this screenshot, the first screenshot, and then the third, so sorry about that. Whatever, I'm too lazy to fix that in post. Because it's, okay, blah, 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 and then, you weren't rational, and then, I continue to not be wrong. It is why I get so heated. My family says 2 + 2 is 5, and I'm just trying to say 2 + 2 is 4. Josh, I'm not sure how I can ever convince you otherwise. That I wasn't part of any gaslighting, and that I argued countless times with our parents in support of you. Or that I have done my best, given my own struggles and circumstances, to help and support you. I never said 2 + 2 is 5. But I'm not sure you'll ever be able to separate me from the other people in the family. You have written us all off as the same when we are so different. Well, then why are things always like phrased as like we? I mean, I guess she uses I more, but like, you never tried to separate yourself from the family. You say you'll never be able to separate, but you really haven't. I mean, yeah, you're not mom and dad, but you are absolutely one of the sisters that, if anything, just abandoned me. Okay, you aren't a parent, so you do not understand, I get that, but because I have boundaries, meaning I have a limit to how far I can go for someone due to my specific circumstances, you couldn't go once in 12 years. Sister Blue, you never told me it was abuse. I've had people tell me that I should have gone to a lawyer. The difficulties were there regardless. I still needed help. I don't think you understand something. Many people have struggles with those things that you mentioned apart from the autism, which we didn't even know about. Oh, if you just don't know about the if you just don't know about it, oh, well. Oh, man, if only we had known that you had autism, we wouldn't have neglected you. As a teacher, I know this, and you know that too. What? And so, what she thinks she's accomplishing by saying this, okay, what she thinks she's accomplishing by saying this is saying there are autistic people who do struggle. Many people have struggles with that. Apart from the... Wait, yeah, what is she trying to say here? That many people have struggles with those things you mentioned. Apart from the autism. What is that? Are you saying the autism is irrelevant? I don't know what the point of that is. Oh, Sister Blue, more redactions in post. And yet I got told to deal with it. And the insult of Sister Green saying, well, you weren't physically abused, really leaves a poor taste in my mouth. Finally, an admission by a family member of the abuse I suffered, but by saying it wasn't physical. I guess mental abuse is fine, but not paying attention to what was healthy and wasn't healthy, well, just let Josh figure out on his own. See, and then she does the same thing. Josh, were you physically abused? Did she really say that mental abuse is okay? It's like, implicitly she was saying it's not as bad. Because it was diminishing. It was saying, well, you weren't physically abused. Which is like saying that, like, you can't really use the word abuse. So she jumps right on that train. Oh, we got twins jumping off of each other's invalidation trains. Were you physically abused? Did she? So she's forcing me to say no. Because she wants to have me replying to the question, were you physically abused? And she wants me to say no. But that's really weird, because it's like, you obviously know that I wasn't physically abused, unless you're like alleging that there's some secret physical abuse by some third party, and that's why I'm complaining about family. And that's why I'm accusing family of abuse. Did she really say that mental abuse is okay? And it's like, I never said, well, I'm being like facetious or extreme by saying, I guess mental abuse is fine, because like that was the vibe, is like, oh, well, you weren't physically abused, so I guess, you know, the mental abuse that I was alleging was fine. But I never said that she said that. But I had already explained what my contention here was. I already explained it. So I don't know why. What? So these are just. It's just. See the methods here. Do you understand the methods of invalidation here? So I wasn't going to play her game. I said, why do you ask the first question? Is it once again to diminish the abuse? Okay, don't answer that then. See, I didn't play her game, so she got mad. Don't answer that then. And again, this attitude is being in response to like, Josh, were you physically abused? This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Sister Blue, you are disgusting. You disgust me. No, I'm not diminishing anything, she said, diminishing everything once again. I'm asking a simple question. Did she say mental abuse is okay? And I said, why are you asking? Why won't you answer? Did she say that? See, again, she's you see the game she's playing. She thinks she's way above it all. She's not. It's actually, I think this is her likely autism, where she doesn't. There are times where Sister Blue is very socially unaware and very kind of confident and cocky and feels like she's the smartest one in the room. Wins all the board games. So the game she's playing here, and I'll mention it once again, she's hammering, were you physically abused? Were you physically abused? Were you physically abused? Because she wants me to say no, so then she can harp on that. And then she said, did you really say the mental abuse is okay? Did she really say the mental abuse is okay? I never said she did. Let's rewind. She said, well, you weren't physically abused, and that, I facetiously say, I guess mental abuse is fine. But she knows I'm not saying that she literally said that. She's figuratively saying that. She's not literally saying that. She's figuratively saying that. She's alluding to that. That is what that is. But by continually asking this, she's asking a simple question, and it's a yes or no simple question. She is trying to say that so that she can diminish my issue with the statement. Do you see the game? That's why she's doing it again. Why won't you answer? Because I'm not playing your game. Why are you asking if I was physically abused? Which she did. She literally did. And I'm turning around the question on her. Answer this first. Why are you asking? Well, I'm genuinely asking. I hope you weren't. You're mad at Green for saying you weren't. So now she's trying to twist that into, I was mad at Sister Green saying this because she said that I wasn't physically abused. As in, I was upset because I was physically abused and I was mad at her for saying that I wasn't. That's not what's happening. That's literally not what's happening. I'm upset because she said that because I never said anything about physical abuse. It was clearly to diminish psychological abuse. So it's just, again, I don't know. This is something that I struggle with sometimes. Sometimes I wonder how much of my family is stupidity and how much of my family is just malice. I just don't know, because this is either just a complete misreading and stupidity and complete ignoring of everything I'm saying intentionally, or she's like radioactively stupid. I'm not quite sure. She says, I hope you weren't. I said, it says a lot when you're not sure. Because again, I understand the game that she's playing here, so I'm turning it back on her. Josh, I've now lived with you since you were 16. Oh, actually, no, you were 12. Here it is. And it's like, and she thinks that the abuse was only after that? And then she's made, yeah, this, like, if you don't even know me, why are you judging? You wouldn't show up. You were being irrational. No, I wasn't. You are the irrational one. I have always been the rational one of the family. It's just when you're a rational person stuck in a family of completely irrational people, it tends to make you go a little crazy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It triggers. It's very triggering. It is intent, and like it feels intentional. That's where it's like they're either nuclear levels of stupid to the point that they hurt me, or they're nuclear levels of malicious towards me to the point where they just treat me like I'm stupid. But in reality, their words betray something else. Listen, I love you. I truly do. Oh, I love you. I truly do. Oh, I love you. I truly do. I don't know how we can have a conversation when I genuinely... Which, by the way, way earlier in this conversation was when I had said, I don't think we can have a relationship because I need validation first. Guess what this entire conversation has been? Once again, invalidation that just falls on its face over and over and over and over and over and over. Why are you so angry with what Green said? And well, you won't even answer them. I need to go eat dinner with the kids now. Wishing you the best. I truly do. And I hope... No, you don't. No, you don't. You lie. I truly do. And I hope you know that. Even if you're still angry at me for not being able to do everything you wanted. You did nothing. If anything, I helped you. If anything. Yep, there's the wishing. Yep, there it is. The wishing me the best without doing a single goddamn thing to show that that's true. I didn't want you to do everything. I just wanted you to do something. What magic wand do you want me to use to make it better? I wanted you to listen. I always wanted you to listen. I need someone in the family who accepted that mom and dad were controlling and abusive and messed up in the head. I needed someone to stick up for me, not diminish the suffering I was and did and still endure. I needed someone to stop arguing against me and start listening to me and realize that I was in the right and needed help arguing for and with. It took 10 years of therapy to finally be able to confidently use the word abuse. I should have been able to confidently say that years ago. But the only reason I couldn't was because the entire family just dropped the entire ball. Every good person and good thing in this world, including my coworkers and experts and therapists and psychologists, have all confirmed to me that I had things right and that my family had them very wrong. But I always had to fight uphill for that. And I had to fight far uphill to think I was worthy of any amount of success. Far past doubts, I'm not quite sure this. Oh, my grammar here. Oof. Far past doubts, like, far uphill to think I was worthy of. I don't know. That sentence. Far past doubts, like, oh, he won't show up. Yeah, like, I deserve better than that. I've worked harder than that. I was always unfairly judged by this family because mom and dad didn't like me saying what I was saying because I was pointing out the abuse. I have worried about you. I have offered teaching career advice when I could. I offered you a job at one point. You never chose to do it. Her offered job was like data entry into a spreadsheet, which is just like, if there was a job that you could pick to specifically torture somebody with especially ADHD, but also autism. I mean, at least my brand of autism and ADHD is not staring at a screen typing things in. It's just not. I'm more of a talk to people, go out in the world and do things sort of person. Staring at a screen and putting in data entry is not. Like, could you say that she offered me a job? Sure, she can technically say that. There was also, I believe, a time or two that she offered to send a bag of groceries, like when I'm like about to become homeless. And it's like, oh wow, really, feeling great about the bag of groceries, which I declined because at that point, that's just honestly, after that many years, offering a bag of groceries that's an insult. At that point, it's just like, look, you've already committed to not being my sister. Just continue not being my sister. Like, if you wanted to any meaningful step towards being a family member of mine would require some amount of validation of what I've gone through and what I've suffered at the hands of my parents for. All my friends acknowledge it, understand it. All my coworkers understand it. Everybody understands what this is. The only people that aren't on the same page are my family. Like, everybody else nakedly knows and sees what this is. Sister Blue thinks that this is not. She thinks her ass is clean from this. This is not. This is not. I really do hope. It's just. I'm hoping you stay and you enjoy that. It's like, but none of this is really backed by, like, you don't care about anything about my actual life. So saying that I hope your life is good does nothing, because you have not cared at all. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Sister Blue. Whatever helps you write me off as not worthy of consideration at the end of the day. The audacity of you telling me that I wouldn't show up. Oh, yeah, true. The irony. I forgot. The irony. The absolute irony of saying that I wouldn't show up. And that's the excuse she used to do the thing that she has done for so many years, which is not show up. That is literally the crime that you are guilty of for years. But anyway. Because his family repeated the failures of refusing to speak about abuse and truth, and instead vilifying and gaslighting and throwing people away when they speak up for themselves. I'm determined to end the cycle of abuse here and now, and I certainly hope you don't do it to your children. I hope you don't do to your children what you've done to me. I hope you find your way to a healthier relationship with the reality and truth. You aren't the only person with struggles, and you aren't the only person who has a hard life. Don't ever talk about my children again as if you somehow know them or even me, and you don't even know how. Don't ever talk as if you somehow know them or even me. By the way, fought for you for years, fought mom and dad for you for years. If anything, I helped. Oh, also, by the way, I haven't lived with you since you were 12, so I don't really know you. So, like, you don't know me. You never even tried to know me. So, what? But see, I feel like that's the thing. My Sister Blue is not MAGA, okay? She's not Trump. But this style of wrapping up, like, the irony is like the point. Because it's like the psychological trick here is it's so ironic that you don't spot it. Because as if you somehow know them or even me. But things have shifted multiple times within this conversation. The excuses have shifted multiple times in this conversation. The reasons have shifted multiple times in this conversation. None of this is principle. The irony and the lie built in the irony. Again, it's hard to tell if this is she's just radioactively stupid or radioactively malicious. And it's difficult to not see it as radioactive maliciousness. Just like my mother, when she does her thing where she specifically omits specific facts to have a somewhat cohesive sounding narrative, but it's not. But the intentional cruelty of an irony like this is to be like, is to be like, it's so obvious that I haven't abandoned you that I will accuse you of abandoning me. When like, this is not how this works. This is not what a sister does to a brother. Yeah, the most fun Merry Christmas. I've gotten so many Merry Christmas wishes from family that are like at the end of like some horrible statement. I've gotten that so many. I mean, even in the course of this video, you've already seen it a few times, where like you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. Like it gets thrown in there like, Merry Christmas, it's supposed to be good, but it's not, because you're being a bad brother. You're being bad in the family. Like, that's the vibe it's sending. That's the message it's sending, is I'm the better person because I wished you Merry Christmas. When actually the way you're doing it makes you just a really terrible person. I'm not gonna lie. It makes you a really terrible person. It doesn't lift Christmas. It doesn't lift Christianity. It doesn't lift Jesus, and it doesn't lift your religious beliefs. All it does is make it look like you're using it to just wound. That's what it looks like. There was a Christmas I got told not to come to family Christmas once, because I had made the statement that like God and Christianity means about the same, like in a logical sense, to like the Tooth Fairy. It's like the same thing to me. I don't believe in either one. But saying that got me told you're not coming to family Christmas, which is, you know, it's just, what on earth did I say that was gaslighting? After you throw, I just don't understand what on earth you mean by gaslighting. Everybody sees through this. This is not 200 IQ. Nothing I ever say is accepted or understood. You don't even try. Instead, you virtue signal about meeting for therapy, and now pull out bullshit about not thinking I'd show up. About not thinking I'd show up. You showed exactly how horrible of a sister you are. You didn't cause abuse. You just didn't defend me or help me. Just let me struggle on my own. Which they already did. I did. Yeah, you did let me struggle on my own. You did. Yes, you did let me struggle on my own. I know she's not. She's saying that she defended us. She's referring to this part, but it is ironic that it's right after that. History will not look kindly upon my family. That's true. Oh, but you were busy. But I know the truth. You can believe what you want. I believe in the truth. Nothing I can do to change it, but I know the truth about what I did or didn't do. It's okay. I'm likely not to show, but I'd definitely be a good professor and should be proud. But you extended all these olive branches, but you were busy. Like, the amount of conflicting sentiments and statements is just all noise. And the thing that makes me again swap back to feeling like it's malicious is like, you clearly do not support my life. You clearly do not support my mental health. You clearly do not support me as a family member. But you want to pretend like you're the best sister on earth when you're actually one of the worst. But hey, if my family cannot be summed up by one thing, I mean, if it could be summed up by one thing, it's like obnoxiously acting like they know what's right when they don't. I mean, I'm guilty of that sometimes myself. I was raised by these people. And unfortunately it makes me understand all the... See, okay, I mean, I know, it's me to say, microaggressions, but it's like every 3 words is a microaggression from my family, like every single one. No. I need some water. Hold on. Professor talking for 4 hours and almost 20 minutes straight. All right, I need some water. It's a long lecture. And I know for a fact I helped you more than you will ever even know. Yeah, because, from when? Before I was 12? But that's fine. Nothing I can say will change your mind. Like, these are... Okay, so we're jumping forward in time. We're jumping past to now. The video had just been released. My mother's video had just been released. Early 2022. So when I became aware of the video, I texted my dad. I said, I would like a file copy of the video my mother posted last Thursday to her YouTube. The one referenced in this comment, given that it concerns me and that it has been publicly broadcast. I would also like to know how many people have viewed said video. Your name was not mentioned. I'm sure you will feel the same way, given that I haven't mentioned your name a single time in this video. I'm sure you'll feel the same way about that. It was your mother asking for prayer for you in the situation. So for those of you who are coming to this video from the first video, that is wild to say that was my mother asking for prayer. That was my mother asking for prayer? That is the most... But you see, like, this is where it comes, like, they are traitors to everything that they said was good. They are traitors to Christianity. I mean, I already mentioned earlier the verses about, if you don't help the stranger, if you don't feed the hungry, if you don't heal the sick, if you don't visit those in prison, etc., etc. Like, according to that, my parents are absolutely going to hell. But I think the thing that should be pointed at is that when it's your mother asking for prayer, so you see how constantly they are able to repackage the worst possible things in the nicest sounding. She slandered my entire life in that video. It caused a mental health episode. Several, in fact. I've struggled with it for years. It took me until earlier this year. It took me 4 years of processing the stuff said in that video. And it was my mother asking for prayer. It was not up for long and has been deleted. I said, if the video is what you claim, if it really is prayer for the situation, it still stands to reason that I should be able to view it. I have the means by which to hear the audio from the video already. I have not yet listened, but not the full quality video. I would like to see the full video, please, as it is specific to me. Subscribers would know how to connect the dots, that she has only one son to speak about, so your point about my name not being mentioned is irrelevant. Which is true. I mean, one could make an argument that me talking about, Sister Green and Blue, those are the twins, or talking about my mom or my dad, it's not exactly ambiguous when I say my mom or my dad. It's not exactly ambiguous when my mom said my son. So, name not being mentioned is irrelevant. That is technically true. You could make that argument about this video to some degree, but they opened the door first. I want all your tweets, and not to mention these are screenshots from my conversations. Okay, I am part of this conversation. This is not, this is not. I can post this. So I feel like this is a real key pivotal moment. It really helps you understand my dad. Other than the fact that he already qualified this as mother asking for prayer, which is like, wow. I don't remember praying. It's supposed to go in like that. So his response to, I want to see the video. I deserve to see the video. I already have the audio of the video. Just show it to me. He said, I want all your tweets and social media posts in which you slandered us. Okay. I haven't done that. Most I could say is if I got anything inaccurate, I did so unknowingly, and I told the truth to the best of my ability, so that's not slander. Whereas I know my mom knows better. And you know better. Dad, you know better. Called us names, compared us to murderers, and worse. Called us names. In all honesty, I don't really recall what that refers to. It's probably referring to like how Trump supporters got called. I'm not sure, but that was back then. Compared us to murderers. I compared them to fascists. I compared them to Nazis, which, spoiler alert, 2026, it's kind of in vogue these days. It's not like I didn't see this coming years ahead. It's not like I didn't have massive panic attacks when Trump won again, because I understand, like, it's rot. It's fascist brain rot. So, and again, just like before, Trump lies, well, politicians lie. Here it's, you guys slandered me. Oh, well, you slandered us. It's not a denial. This isn't a denial. I mean, you can say that this isn't a confession, but it's not a denial. So I said, I'm not here for your commentary. Stay focused. I'm just here for this whole video. As stated previously, I have the full audio already. I just wish to look in, I gotta redact again. Look in my mom's eyes as she talks about her son to her subscribers. I think that is perfectly fair, as it has been public on and off over the period of 6 days. I have nothing to hide on my social media. By all means, go look yourself. It's all public. And that's true. There's, and not only that, but like, he's demanding that I prepare that, like, imagine if I told him I want, like, see, here's the thing. I didn't even, in this video, okay, so this is another context clue. See how I requested, I didn't use the word slander, right? I didn't use the word slander at all here. But then he immediately says, I want the social media in which you slander. It's like, bro, I just want to look at the video. I thought it was about a mother asking for prayer. So why this escalation? The escalation is because he knows how bad the video is. He knows it is. And that's why he gets real nasty there. When my family becomes nasty, okay, that's when you know, like, all the methods of invalidation, when they're trapped in a corner, they get mad, they get vicious. because they're very used to having methods of invalidation and escape and constantly moving around. But when I'm able to hammer it down because I understand what's going on, then yeah. So Sister Green managed to message her on Instagram after she had blocked me, I guess. But I said, just so you know, Mom and Dad are breaking me again with PTSD. Because, again, in 2020 is when I was saying they'd ruined my life twice. And, like, they were breaking me again with this. And I was very close to homelessness. And in fact, that was the condition, that was the commentary for her video, was justifying why she would just let me become homeless. And it makes me sick. And then she hid it behind a paywall. I mean, again, this is covered in the first video, but this is me telling Sister Green about it. So, I mean, some of this is just kind of details. This screenshot right here. This is what my friend who discovered the video commented and posted. She, who was a friend for over a decade at that point, commented on my mom's video, the Slanderfest video, said, "It is heartbreaking. As a friend of your son for over a decade, I have witnessed his struggle from every angle. It is an incredibly unfortunate privilege to be a third person looking in. I see the same traits and behaviors demonstrated by you, his parents, the same words, the same misunderstanding and miscommunication. I understand nobody is perfect. We are all..." So, I mean, she's kind of, I mean, this is like, yeah, my family is full of neurodivergence. And she's trying to take like a diplomatic, but yeah, I mean, she could see both sides in terms of my mom has been through a lot, but yeah. But see, yeah, here we go. So it's like, I hope that someday your son can move past all the damage and resentment. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted to do, was move past all of this. That he won't be reminded every day of his setbacks caused by mistakes that have not been owned up to. I pray for your ignorance to save you. Or I pray for your ignorance to save you. The best thing for your son is for you to admit you cannot help him. He is a wonderful soul, and God has put him in my life to be understood, given patience and kindness and forgiveness. I only ask that you are truthful with yourself and what you can offer. It's not the help he needs. Simply do not guilt him. He shouldn't carry your guilt along with his. Like why did my mom choose to go to war? I don't understand. And then Sister Green's responsible. I love you, but I'm in no way responsible for what mom does. I said, I never said you were. See, like, why take this as an attack? Yes, I sleep well. I never neglected or abused you. I have, you knew what was happening. Okay, same thing. Josh, I was a child just like you. Wait, what? She was an adult when I was like, cool. So if I die of PTSD, you definitely won't think about how maybe you had just been, if you had just been a bit more supportive of your brother, his life is in ruins, not because of his own fault. I guess just luck of the draw then, eh? I don't know how I can be more supportive. I grieve what our parents did to you. Oh my God. I have my own family to take care of. That, again, when you told me you were in therapy because of Mom, you wouldn't say anything in defense of yourself or me. You are not my child. You are not my husband. You are not my immediate family anymore. I'm not responsible for you. We're equals, brother and sister. you were scared. Yeah, she did confess to me that she was afraid of our mother on social media because she constantly finds ways to have YouTube audiences to say horrible things to, apparently. And it's convenient. It's convenient now that she's got her support system. I'm not scared of our mother. That's not true. That's not what she told me before. I know she won't change. The making money off of the slander, she won't change. So why stand up? Yeah, she won't. Yeah, so if she won't change, and this is the context is she's putting up the Slanderfest video, which, by the way, I sent I don't know. Yeah, actually, my sister didn't listen to the audio. I sent her the audio. She didn't even listen to it. Yeah, right here. I even mentioned it. Josh, I have no control over it. You can ask Mom someday. I called her and yelled at her for the video. I never saw it, but I believed every word you told me. I called her instantly and yelled at her. This conversation started out with her saying, I'm in no way responsible for what our parents did. And me saying I didn't say that. Like, I don't get why she gets defensive over abuse that our parents did to me. And I don't understand why, other than it's related to the fact that she then neglected me to deal with that abuse on my own. She never saw it. And I said, I sent you the audio. She said, I believed you, still do. Told Mom it was wrong and inhumane. So she didn't even have the guts to listen to the audio. I mean, I guess she listened to it in the video that I did about it, I guess. So on June 23rd, 23, so a little over a year later, I decided to confront my mother again on one of her live streams. Or on one of her videos, I guess. I mean, this looks like it was a video, not a live stream. But I put in the comments, your daughter, Sister Green, my sister. I'm going to sneeze. Your daughter, Sister Green, my sister, confided in me that she was in therapy because of you. She has also admitted my life is broken because of you, which is true. She's also admitted being scared of you and how you act on social media. You slandered me on your previous channel, and you tried to hide it specifically from me behind a $2.99 paywall before it was found. I want whatever money you made off of that slanderous video. It broke me every time I had to re-listen to it, transcribe it, and think about responses. Because it took me a long while to actually... I had the audio for a while before I truly transcribed it. So fast forward to April 18th of this year. Which actually all these several ones have been this year, because this is after the video that I posted. So my uncle reaches out, and I talk about how my life is whatever scattered pieces I've managed to survive with. My sisters have all blocked me as well for being so angry. I've considered myself familyless for years and years. Happy families and photographs make me sad because it's so far from what I got, and I just have always been alone. Fast forward 3 months. So the phone call that I had with my uncle, I mentioned near the beginning of this video that all he really did was talk about some family drama regarding my mother, and fights over inheritance, and fights over whether abuse happened in the family or not, or whether it was like I don't know. There was I don't really know what to take from what my uncle said, because again, at least his wife was very pro-Trump and after January 6th. So, insurrectionist wife, at the very least. I mean, any Trump supporter after January 6th is an insurrectionist, knowingly or not. But anyway. Which, yeah, to the point that I kind of touched on earlier, is my parents are really traitors to the correct idea of Christianity. They're traitors to democracy. They're traitors to America. They're traitors to... They're traitors to protecting children. I mean, when it comes to Epstein, just the sheer blind spot for that is insane. But regardless, he came into it being like, oh, I'm all sorts of, we just want to explain what's going on, and, you have family, and, cue a few weeks later, when I'm in a position where I had to borrow money to get an inhaler that I was out of and couldn't afford, and I had COVID at the same time, and I'm there gasping for air, trying to find a way, and I asked my uncle, I say, hey, can I borrow for a few weeks? Can I borrow a little bit just so I can breathe? Oh, we're not in a position to lend anything. So, at that point, it's like, I honestly don't know why you reached out, just to tell me more terrible things about my terrible mother and inform me that there is yet more family out there that immediately abandons me as well. You showed up just to tell me about my moronic family squabbles that somehow swiveled around money that didn't change anything. Every time things like this happen, it doubly hurts because I'm always reminded of how I have no family backup whatsoever. Not a single dime or call to see how I am really, just more abandonment. The thing about abandonment is it's never when it's undeserved. I never deserve to be abandoned by literally any member of my family. But unfortunately, it's the case that most, if not all, of my family hold extremely problematic beliefs / unresolved traumas that led to said abandonment. I deserve better than my parents. I deserve better than my sisters. I deserve better than my extended family. All have failed me. And that might just end up being how my story truly ends. Too neurodivergent to truly build a stable, lasting situation for myself with zero family support. And I'm not texting you this for pity. I'm not texting you this to influence you in any way at all. In fact, I'm blocking you right after this because, honestly, I just can't deal with yet more family members caring from a distance of not doing anything to help someone in need. So don't bother replying. Goodbye. And then I blocked him because it's just like, if you're gonna show up and say you care, and you wanna, like, again, it's not about you have to financially support. It's like, where is the healing of the sick? Where is the helping the needy? Where is this? You're supposed to do that for strangers, much less family members. If you don't even do that for family members, do you see, like, what if this is the model? Like, what about this model of Christianity is is admirable from either my family or my uncle. Where is it? Because I don't see it. That's not the Christianity that I grew up reading the Bible. All right, I grew up hearing actual sermons and actual messages from Christianity. And I'm telling you, it's not isolate and abandon. It's not spend 40 minutes lying about bearing false testimony about someone's life, justifying why you will let them become needy and become hungry and everything else. That is just quite literally, like, what? That's not a good role. That's not a good role model. That's not what Jesus wants. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Christian and I don't believe in it, but from what I understand, that's not what Jesus wanted. So after I blocked my uncle's son, who again I've never talked to this person before, so I know this may be odd or weird to hear, but I found the messages you had with my father, and I wanted to say it. I'm sorry that you were ignored when things got rough. And I know just as well myself what it is like to grow up with a radical Christian Republican parents. Sure. I hope this doesn't come off as condescending in any way, but I wanted to let you know that I'm here for you if you need me, and I want to help you get back on your feet in whatever way you need. I haven't known what back on my feet means for years, but anyway. Fast forward about 10 messages later. Maybe I can't help you, dude. You want to say this all sucks and it's everyone else's fault more than you want to. There it is. Yeah, bro, well, if that's the case, why are you still here right now speaking to me or being alive? And that's when I blocked him. Because it's like, alright, why are you still being alive? Like, why are you still here speaking? Why are you still alive? Why are you still being alive, bro? It's like, like at this point, even if there were a good family member to show up in my life and start caring about me, I don't even know if I would trust it. I feel like if you're related to me, you're just genetically predisposed to being garbage to me. I don't know why. What happened to wanting to help me get back on my feet in whatever way I need? What happened to that? And I'm tired. I'm tired of it.